This episode of Chat and Chew is sponsored by 30 and 2 CPR. Unfortunately, we don't always know when tragedy will strike. But when every second counts, isn't it good to know that 30 and 2 CPR is just one heartbeat away? Our qualified instructors are standing by to provide you and your staff with the training you need to meet emergencies head on. Visit our website at www.30and2cpr.com or call us at 919-923-6055 to schedule your training event today. Please make sure you follow us on Facebook, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, hit the bell to activate notifications that will remind you when we're on. Please be sure to leave us a comment to let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear from you.
Greetings. It's 2024, James. James Jackson is our Dean of Students. He's also the co-facilitator of our podcast, as well as this morning we have Miss Diana Powell. We're going to talk about her in depth, what the work that she's doing in the community. And I just want to welcome the guests, and I want to welcome the audience.
Yeah, welcome.
Right,
welcome,
okay.
Welcome to our viewers. If you're joining us from Facebook, if you're joining us from Instagram or YouTube, I need you to like our page and begin following us. Subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You'll be here with us when it's that time again. Thursday nights at 8 p.m. So set that time mark in your calendar, into your day, so that we can share our stories with you.
Yes.
But Glen, it's been a great year. Not such a beautiful year towards the end, but we pulled through. I had some personal tragedies.
Yes.
But I'm here. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be back in the saddle, so to speak, with our podcast.
Yeah, I'm so excited about what this year brings as far as our podcast and the guests that we're going to be inviting this year, and starting out with the one we have today.
Right.
Our new set, I'm sure they're going to probably put some pictures on our new set. It really looks good, look very professional, and I'm very excited because we're going to be doing a lot in this room.
Yeah.
We do podcasts, we do our classes, Zoom classes, as you know, and we're going to be doing a lot of roundtables. So Ms. Dan, I'm going to have you back. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff on this because we really want to get the word out about fatherlessness and all this other stuff in the community and the work that she's doing in the community. So this is our first session of this type of Welcome to the World of Making a Difference.
Yes.
2024.
Let me interrupt you one moment. I'm happy that we have a heavy hitter with us.
To kick this thing out right, yeah.
Yes.
And I created Welcome to the World of Making a Difference because I wanted to highlight and show people in the community, other people who are really, really doing the dirty work in the community and not often get any recognition because you are making a difference as well as others. And so just today I wanted to really kind of focus on Miss Powell and work that she's doing in the community and how we could be an assistant to her and how we can work together and how the community can work together and help her support what she's doing. So, Miss Diane, first of all, let's talk about Miss Diana Powell. Who is Diana Powell? Tell us about who you are.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you, both of you all, for allowing me this opportunity to come into this beautiful space. When I walked in, I was very surprised, and, it's so needed. So, yes, Diana Powell. I am born and raised. We're born and raised here in Raleigh,
cool.
North Carolina. I graduated from Millbrook Senior High School.
Okay.
I was the senior class vice president.
I can see that.
So kind of always been around that politics
Right.
arena, and I went to St. Augustine's College.
Did I know that?
Right.
I don't think you knew that.
I did not. When did you graduated? I did not know that.
Alumnus.
Yes, and then also I ended up working at St. Aug.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and history and political science.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I love Raleigh. I love our community, and I love people.
Yeah, that's evidence. Yes. Yeah. So tell us something that would surprise us about you.
Something that would wow, that would surprise
Yes.
about me. I am a fighter.
Oh, that ain't surprising. Like you jumped from an airplane.
That I am shy.
Oh no, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
A lot of people say they don't, but I am.
Really?
I'm very shy.
You're an introvert.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have not noticed that.
Until the time it says you're on.
And then you
all that, yeah.
You flip
Yep.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I am an introvert, and
Okay.
just really learned that about myself a couple of years ago.
Wow.
As I was studying.
How did you discover that?
I just started reading
Okay.
and going on YouTube and
Wow.
just studying people and why we behave the way we do. Why
wow.
we act. Why do we do the things that we do? And then it dawned on me. I was like, I'm an introvert.
Wow.
Because I can do
You're
things
an-
by myself.
Right,
I'm
Be good
happy.
with it.
Yeah, I'm good by myself. I don't mind, going into a room and just sit there and be happy all by myself.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's great.
So I don't know. But this question I'm going to ask. I don't know which one I want to ask first. What is your why? Or maybe I should ask, how did you get into the work that you are doing now?
I got into this work. My niece was involved in a high-profile case where her and her best friend got in a fight for over $40
Wow.
at a club, and they took the fight outside. And so when they took the fight outside, the guys that my niece was with decided to go in the car and pull some guns out, and they went to shooting. And it just so happened one of the bullets went into the fire department and went right over a fireman's head. And so when I got the first phone call I got from her, she said, "Auntie, I didn't do it. I didn't shoot, no guns." And so they arrested her, and then I saw the charges. I saw they had stacked the charges. And so I started going to the courthouse and just watching how our people were being handled within our criminal justice system. And that's when I realized that our community need to be educated.
Yeah.
Which is you answered the first question was, what was that pivotal moment that made you get into the field, which you just answered?
Wow.
That was that moment that experience with your aunt, with your niece,
It kicked it off.
kicked it off.
Kicked it off.
And so the other question is, that becomes your why. Why is that your why now? Why is that work is so important to you?
First, I used to work in the prison system.
Okay.
I was a correctional lieutenant. I worked in there for 10 years. So I saw the recidivism. I saw people coming and going. But I didn't know, I realized that my time was up. It was time to go. And so I started working in 2 law firms. And again, I started seeing people around this criminal justice system. And why I do the things that I do on the outside in our community, because our people are uneducated about this system. And it's not about not being held accountable for what you are being accused of.
Right.
If you're being, if you did it or guilty or not guilty. But I want to see how people treated fairly.
Wow.
And that's why I'm so passionate about it.
And then to know the process of
Yes.
what's involved. I mean,
Yeah.
if you get arrested, then these are the steps that you need to take, whether you're a victim or if you're arrested, you're not the victim. But if you might be innocent, though, but you still might have to go through that process.
Right. So tell us about your nonprofit, Justice Served.
Justice Served NC. Again, I was working at St. Augustine's College. I was traveling with Dr. Juanita Bynum.
Really?
Yeah, her ministry. And we had a down moment, right? Because I was going to weekends and travel with her. And I had a down moment. And Spirit of the Lord said, go to St. Aug, clean your desk out, clean the office out, and leave your keys. On a Sunday.
Wow.
I was like, that's not professional. We're not going to do that. But I did. I got up and went, and I got back home, and I laid on the sofa. I said, what do I do now? Because I had just got a $200 raise.
Whoa.
Right. Wow. So I'm like, what do I do now? And still going with the things that was going on with my niece. There was someone that said, we've been watching you. We've been seeing you in the courtroom. So if you had to put a name to what you're doing, what would you name it? So while I was laying on the sofa and I was praying and asking God, what do we do next?
Right.
And that's when we came up with the name Justice Served. Because we want to be fair in the way the system is set up.
Right. So exactly what do y'all do? What do Justice Serve do on a daily basis?
Justice Serve is a nonprofit. Our mission is to prevent individuals from being entangled in this criminal justice system. And just like you were saying, the courtroom itself is very intimidating.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So if you don't have nobody there and you look out and you're like, where everybody at? Right. But it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable when you look and you know you got support there. Yeah. Right. And somebody is navigating and helping you navigate through this system, because a lot of people get caught up with the not know.
Yeah. I was watching, a friend of mine sent me a TED Talk, and I'm going to forward that TED Talk to you.
Okay.
About a judge, and she talked about procedural justice.
Yeah.
Which is, the courtroom is not just a place of punishment.
Right.
But it's also a place of assistance.
Yes.
And you should be able to go, and if you do the crime, you got to do that.
Right.
You got to,
Right.
But at the same time, how do we give them assistance in an area that they're struggling with, even while they're incarcerated and when they get out?
That's right.
So how do we not just deal with the punishment, but also deal with the system that people need when they get entangled? And one of the things she was saying is, and what you just said it, it's so intimidating.
Yes.
Because you go to 4 or 5 different people in the courtroom, you ask them the same question, you're going to get 5 different answers.
Yes.
And that alone is enough to be frustrated, and everybody's angry and they're mad, and then especially then now the justice is not fair.
Right.
That it's
yeah, and also you don't even know what the outcome going to be sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you got somebody that's in there being a liaison between your judge, your public defender, and the district attorney, right?
Right.
So if I'm having that conversation with them, and then I can be able to relay back, look, you don't have court today. Ain't no need of taking off work. We've already researched that for you.
Right.
They're not going to do anything today, so don't get so uptight. So that puts them at ease.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially people that are waiting inside of our county jail, waiting to go to court, and they're sitting there waiting on their attorney. When you gonna come? Or they just gonna bring me the plea the same day I'm going to court.
Right.
Yeah, I don't even have time to process this.
Right. Yeah.
So we kind of get in and try to have that conversation with those individuals. We'll be able to relay that information back to them.
Wow.
I know that we talk to sometimes when we have classes at the jail.
Yeah.
Some men have never seen their public defender until the day that they go to trial or need to go to court. And that's kind of like what you're saying, we've heard it too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've been in the child support court for the last 15 years until COVID, 2 or 3 times a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And just to watch people when they come into the courtroom and watch the judges, and watch the DAs, and watch the clients, and they intimidated, they scared, they fearful, and it's like the stress level is off the chain.
Yes.
And then sometimes the guys get mad because if a guy, he's there for child support, and he's been really doing good, but the guy in front of him has been doing nothing.
Right.
So the judge is mad with him.
Yeah.
But when he gets to the next guy, You're gonna get some of that.
Spill over.
You're gonna get some of that anger.
Oh, yeah.
And I hear guys say all the time, like, man, why did I have to go behind him?
Yeah.
Because I haven't been perfect, but I'm not bad as he is.
Right, right.
So, what are some of the challenges that you are seeing? Oh, let me ask you this question: what are some of the misconceptions about people that you are trying to help that the public have? What are some of those misconceptions?
Well, first of all, in the community that I work with, especially around individuals that are been in gangs,
Yes.
and trying to come out of the gangs, and the system looks at them. No, they're gonna always be a criminal.
Wow.
Right, and so we're trying to let the system know people can change.
Yes.
You know, and so that is a preconception of who people are.
Wow.
They are human beings. People can change.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
But society, we don't see that.
Yeah.
We say you walk around and look like a gang member. You was a gang member. You're all gonna. Yeah. Oh wow. You know what? That is so.
Yeah. But we've seen evidence that people change.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
even with our own program.
with our own company, we see
Right.
guys like, man, this guy, you know, I don't know if he's gonna make it or not because he still got
Some tendencies.
Yeah,
some of those
yeah,
tendencies.
yeah.
But you could see that he's trying to change his life, and he's on that crossroads now.
Yeah.
He's at that place where he can go either way, and how do we make sure that he's going that way and make sure he's there?
Right, because one, there are so many barriers that are there. We talk
Yes.
about reentry,
Yes.
person reentry back into society.
Yes.
There are so many barriers. And I always ask when I'm first interviewing someone, what is your trigger?
Right.
I want to know what your trigger is. Because if I know what your trigger is, I know how to handle,
Right.
your situation.
Right.
So it's all about having building relationships with individuals. That is inside those stakeholders.
Yes.
That hold the key.
Yes,
You still got to
yes,
build
yes.
relationships with
Right,
them.
right, right.
And then we
Right.
got to have some strong relationships to the people that we're
Yes.
Wow. So some of the what are some other challenges that you are facing as you work in this population?
helping. Well, first of all, and I look back on it now and I laugh about it. When I first started going into the courtroom, they didn't know who I was and why I was there. But for some reason, I was
Who
going.
sent you?
Yeah, who sent you? I was going all the way in the back in the holding cell.
Yeah.
I would just go up and say, "Is so and so back there?" And they were like, "Yeah." The deputy, he was like, "I said, okay, I need to see him." So they let me back there, and then somebody like, "Who is she?
And why is she
Why
here?
this black woman coming up
Yeah.
in here? They can't do that." And so as time went on, they began to understand what I was doing. And actually, believe it or not, they even took me to the state bar. It's how unauthorized practice of law.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. How did that turn out?
We won. We
Okay.
beat our case.
Okay.
Because when I went before the state bar, I took about 30 people from the community that were my witnesses,
Wow.
and the people that lives that we had touched and had changed in a positive
Wow.
way. And I went before about 30 attorneys in that room, and finally it was one attorney that said, "I get it. I understand what she's doing."
Oh, okay. So,
They relate to her. She speaks their language, right? Because lawyer talks different.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And they twist you up real fast.
Yeah.
And so basically, that's what it was. And they come back and they say, "Miss Powell, just continue to do what you do."
Really?
Judge Donald Stevens, which was the senior
Yeah.
chief judge, he gave me a motion that I would be able to continue to go in
Man,
and
that
educate
is
our
so
community.
powerful.
That's
That's
great.
that's great. How long ago that's been?
That's been maybe about 6 years.
Years ago.
Yeah,
Wow.
6 years ago.
So you regularly in a courtroom on a regular basis?
Right
doing
now, we are actually training the community to go in and be community court advocates.
Really?
So I facilitate a training once a year, and people come in and we give them all the tools. We give them no's, what you can't do, what you can do,
Wow,
and so we have our district attorney. She comes in, she teaches. She teaches a part of that. Our public defender chief. He comes in, he talks. Some of our judges come along.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
so when you're training someone, they have to have that same drive or
Yes.
similar drive that you have. Right?
Yes, yeah. They have to have that passion
That
and understand
passion.
that we are not here to judge. That is one of my pet peeves. We cannot judge another person's journey or their life. Only thing we're here is to help them navigate through life.
Yeah. To our audience who are listening, if you're just tuning in, We do. James, you said it, so we haven't. I didn't realize the impact. This is really a heavy hitter, y'all.
Yes.
I did not realize. I mean, I knew about some of the work that you was doing, but I didn't realize the impact and the struggle that you had to get to where you are now.
Yeah.
And not only that people who try to stop you are now the one that's pushing you into that
Supporting
because
you.
they understand.
Yeah.
They had a paradigm shift.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Stephen Covey talks about paradigm shift. When your paradigm shift changes, your behavior changes.
Right.
The outcome changes.
That's right.
So you fundamentally change a paradigm shift about the Justice Department that you're not necessarily trying to be a lawyer.
No.
I'm just here helping these people out. I'm between that's a mediator.
Yeah.
Which is so powerful.
It's so powerful.
That people need. And I really thank you for the work that you're doing. It's amazing. And again, this welcome to the world of making a difference.
Yeah.
You in that
Represents
world.
that.
You
Yeah.
created you was the one that created that world.
Yeah.
And I personally want to say how thankful I am for you. What are some of your accomplishments? Or you think just named a few of them? What do you see this going? What do you see the justice system going in the next 20 years as it relates to fairness and people getting fair representation and all those kind of things?
Well, definitely around our Second Chance Act bill
Okay.
that was passed in 2019 when we lobbied our legislators. We put over 1,000 people on Jones Street, and that bill got passed,
Wow.
44 to
Yes.
0.
Yes.
The Second Chance Act bill around expungements and driver's license and getting those released, because that's what changes people's lives.
Say it's not a moment, it is a movement. We just can't just take the Second Chance Act bill and say, okay, we're satisfied, we got everything we need. No, it continues.
Right.
And one of the biggest things I'm so proud of is our expungement program that we did. We went on a 3-week campaign. We sat down with our district attorney, Judge Vince Rozier.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it was
good
like,
friend, yeah.
well, we think we can do an expungement. I was like, okay, what that means, right? I said, it sounds good.
Yeah.
And they was like, so the district attorney, Lauren Freeman, she said, well, let me go back and do some more research, but I think we can do this in North Carolina. And we went over. She came back. She said, we can do this.
Wow.
And she said, but the only thing is, we can't reach the mass of people that you can. Right.
Right.
And so we went on a 3-week campaign. We pre-registered over 3,000 people. They had no idea
Wow.
that so many people had been impacted by our criminal
Wow.
justice system.
Well, when you say it that way, have you had any outside of North Carolina callers to say, well, how are you doing this program? Any national exposure or things like that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Because we have worked with individuals in South Carolina, Florida, Virginia, and that put us connected to the DAs
Yes.
that are
Right,
in those states. So we've.
So the fire has been lit.
It's been lit.
And now it's kind of spreading a little bit.
It is spreading, and also individuals that we have helped that are inside of the prison now.
Yes.
They are running just to serve inside of the prison. They're
Great.
teaching
Great.
and educating those
yeah,
individuals.
Yeah.
I think the biggest complaint we hear a lot of the times is my attorney or my public defendant didn't represent me
Yeah,
well.
exactly. Yeah.
And that creates a problem within itself.
Yeah.
Because if you have a voice and this person is supposed to be working on your behalf, regardless if you did the crime or not, he should be fighting for your representation. And a lot of times they
They
are the problem too.
Yeah. And the system make you sit in jail and make you take a plea.
Yep.
That
we're going to wait you out.
We're going to wait you out. You should have got probation.
Yeah.
Right.
But now you've been in prison for holding cell for a year.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be sent to prison for another 6
Well,
8 months.
North Carolina is a plea deal state, right? So that's the first thing that come with you. Is
didn't
a
know
plea
that.
deal. Yeah, North Carolina is a plea deal state. And that was one of the things that kind of got me in a little trouble, because we're like, why are you taking that plea?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was a young man by the name of James E. Austin. And he was facing 29 years in prison for attempted murder. And he came to me. He said, Miss Powell, I've done some things in my life, but that right
That
there
one
I didn't do.
Yeah.
And I just basically just said, well, why don't you get your motion of discovery? And everything that is not true in that motion of discovery, you highlight it, bring it back to me, and I'm going to take it over to your attorney and ask your attorney to really look at you.
Wow.
Not just a number, not just as your criminal history, but look at you now. And to make a long story short, James his case was dismissed.
Really?
Because the truth came out.
But it's 29 years.
29 years.
But can you imagine so many people, not that extreme, but who are sitting in a jail cell, and they'll tell you, I did a lot of other stuff.
I ain't do that one.
Right.
And then also North Carolina looks at your criminal record. And then I seen individuals, I said, well, they're not really going after you because of what you did here. They're going after you because of your history.
Right. Wow.
Your criminal record.
But I guess what makes everything a little bit better, a little bit more to accept is that now they're starting to listen.
Yeah.
And maybe some different outcomes can
and listen,
occur.
and what you're doing, I mean, lawyers are, sometimes they are spread so thin.
Yes.
They got so many cases, they can't do all of this stuff. And they need, people like you to come in and say, hey, look at this.
Yeah.
We've done the research. This ain't, and so now you can look into it as a lawyer and find out, we can't do that part, but you can.
Right.
But your help and your assistance with that.
Yeah, but I've had attorneys that seek me out. And they would say, well, Miss Powell, if you're going over to jail today, tell them I don't have anything. Just be patient, and we'll get to it.
That's
and when
awesome.
I go and talk to the clients, they look, lawyer, don't be looking for them. They already, they said this, that, and they be like, okay, Miss Powell, it's fine, I'm good.
But the fact that they know somebody working on their behalf,
Yes.
it makes them do the time a little bit better.
Yes. They're not in there being so frustrated,
Exactly.
and they get blindsided.
Yeah.
Now you're one person. So what is? I can see this. You're one person. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But what is your typical day like? I mean, it sounds like you got an army behind you.
Yes.
We do have court advocates that are in the courtroom every day. They're watching.
All right.
Wherever my hands can get into, I'm there.
Okay.
If someone calls me and says, and with our reentry, we find ourselves working with people that have been displaced for being homeless.
Yes.
And so we find those families that are in these hotels. When they're not looking for a hand out, but they're looking for a hand up.
Yeah.
And so we help those individuals. We try to raise money, funds to keep them in the hotel.
Which was the next? You had. Cause I see you on Facebook a lot.
Yeah.
Doing this kind of work, and I was like, what is that about, and how did that come about, and what do you, I know you're trying to help people, so tell us about that.
Well, it started out with our reentry.
Okay.
People that was coming home from prison and jail, they didn't have nowhere to go.
Right.
And working along with Dennis Gaddy, CSI, we had some little funding.
Okay.
And so we were able to put people in hotel rooms for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
And then word kind of got out.
Wow.
If you ever been entangled in the system, go there, see this
Right.
Okay.
And so our clientele went up to 233.
Wow.
And that was during COVID.
Wow.
And then we realized that it was families involved. There was children
Yes.
that was literally sleeping outside or sleeping in their cars. And so that's how I kind of got pushed. I said, God, you done pushed me in this right here.
Yeah. I watch you. I watched you last night between the meetings. I put up to you out there. So let's sit down before I go back to my meeting.
Yeah.
But it's powerful the work that you're doing in the community to helping guys who are families.
Yeah.
Who are dying out in the streets
Yeah.
because they don't have a place to go at. They don't have the money, the resources, and the fact that that you out there doing this work. And so which is, I'm a nonprofit, you're a nonprofit, and we know funding is
Limited.
So how are you getting your funds?
We try to apply for grants,
Okay.
But because of the other bigger organizations that
Right,
are out there,
right.
they're always getting it.
Right.
It kind of pushes us back.
Yeah.
So I pull on the community.
Yeah.
And the community realized that we are passionate and we are true to what we say we do.
Yes.
So that's what we are. We just pull on the community, and the community step up, and I love every one of them.
Yeah. So, and we could sit and talk about this until Jesus comes back. But I know that you are. This is your passion. This is your baby, and I am so proud. And this year we're gonna do some things together.
Yes.
We're gonna come back and we're gonna use this platform to sound the alarm about the work that you're doing And anytime you want to come and say, hey, I want to do a podcast, let me know. Okay. And we're going to, because we need to get the word out about what you're doing in the court system. Also about community and how we could be, the government is there to help us, and we want that help, but we can't wait for them to come and help us.
That's right.
They're not coming sometimes. Right. The cavalry is not coming. No. And so we have to be in the community and support our own and do the things that we need to do. Right. So tell our audience.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We're both on the same page.
Yes. Go ahead.
We wanted to know how our viewers can get in touch with your organization and reach out to you. It would be nice if someone has even questions, if they can send them our way and we can forward them to you, or they can go directly to you. Yeah. But tell us how we can get in touch with you.
Well, directly you can get in contact with me by my phone number. My phone never dies. It's always there. 919-594-9076. We're always on social media, Facebook under Diana Haywood Powell. Okay. And also we're connected with CSI, Dennis Gatter, Community Success Initiative. Mm-hmm. Our information is on that website as well.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
Yeah. So, I really want to thank you for coming and being a part of this discussion, and thank you for the work you're doing in the community. Continue to do it. God is always going to be there to supply your needs, as He always does.
Yes.
And I know you're a very spiritual lady.
Yes.
And but we just want to. This year we're going to try to do more stuff together, because I really
Amen.
We kind of dealing with the same population.
Yep.
And just keep doing it. Just keep being strong and be out there, and we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Amen. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody for joining us. I really had an exciting time talking with my dear friend Diana Powell and the amazing work she's doing in the community. And I did not realize that she was doing the work that she's doing so much. And again, she's one of the reasons why we created Welcome to the World of Making a Difference. So thank you for joining us. And until next time, have a good day. Here's 3 ways you can support our Dads at a Distance initiative. Give a copy to a family member, our friend. Donate monthly, a book monthly, 5 books monthly, how many books you want to do monthly donation. Reverse book signing, your church, your business. You can make a donation go to our website at www.afatherforever.com and go to our PayPal at Fathers Forever. Our Cash App is $Fathers Forever. Make your donation today. Please include in the note section, include DAAD. Again, include in the note section DAAD.
If you or someone you know would like to be a part of the show, please visit our website at www.afatherforever.com or call us at 919-779-9905. The Chat and Chew podcast streams Thursdays at 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook. To schedule a reverse book signing or to find out more information about how you can become a part of the programs you heard us mention today, please be sure to stop by our website as well.
Hello, everyone. This is Glen Warren, founder and executive director of Fathers Forever. I want to share an alarming reality with you. 627,000 fathers are incarcerated that have kids under 18. Now, there are 56,000 moms incarcerated who have kids under 18. The reality is there are so many more fathers incarcerated than moms. This is why I Am a Father Forever book exists. Now I need your help. I am inviting you to help us get this book into as many fathers incarcerated as possible. Here's how it works. For your donation of $22, we will provide a book to an incarcerated father. Thank you in advance for helping Fathers Forever heal fathers and save families.